Hey guys, Cameron for Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 5, Captain. I was really looking forward to this episode. Last week's episode really impressed me. It was really intense. We also got some great history with Strand, and I was really looking forward to seeing what this episode was going to be like, and this was not as good as it could have been, definitely. Mainly because most episodes focusing on side characters that we just don't really care about, and we barely got anything with Strand in this episode, barely got anything with the characters we actually cared about. There were some really great moments, like the last few minutes I thought were really great, but a lot of this was quite slow, and definitely more of a low-key episode than really should have been. I mean, this episode should have been highly intense, and it really wasn't, but let's just get into this episode, because I do really want to talk about it. I don't have a lot to say about this episode, but I do feel this episode, like I said, really was a missed opportunity. So we start off with Connor. He prepares some food for Alicia. He's cooking something with an unnecessary amount of ingredients as Alicia sits by and she's watching skiing on TV. And right away, you can see that Alicia is kidnapped, and we see the pregnant woman walks in grilling Alicia. We don't know what her name, I forgot her name, but Connor presents the Omaha steak to Alicia and brags about his New York strips. He dismissed Jack earlier because he wants to get to know Alicia. They want to get to know her more. The fact that Alicia bonded with Jack, and Alicia asks about Jack, Travis, and her family, and Connor dodges a real answer. And the power goes out, and Connor goes to fix it, leaving Alicia behind, who hesitantly dives into the steak just before the pregnant woman comes back and takes it from her and walks out. Now, if I was Alicia, I would have tried to find a way to get out. I would have really tried to do that, but of course, Alicia doesn't do that, and she locks the door behind her. Alicia tries to find a way out, but all the doors around her are locked, and she is, in fact, trying to find a way out. Obviously, she wants to get out of there. She heads upstairs, opens the door to find that she's aboard a large docked vessel, and won't be able to jump down to land. Unfortunately, she's stuck there. You know, they basically have her trapped, and there really is no way of getting back, which I thought was a very good way to start, because I was really thinking, oh, is Alicia gonna be stupid and not try to get back? But no, she is trying to, and Jack tells Alicia that he shouldn't be here, that she shouldn't be here. They go back inside. Jack explains that Connor would have been mad if he saw her out on her own. He's surprised to hear that Connor made her steak, and Alicia's requests about Travis and her family, but Jack says that he can't do anything, but he'll find out everything in a little bit of time. And honestly, Jack could not be more sincere in this episode. You do see that Jack does genuinely not know what's going on with her family. He's basically forced to listen to Connor's orders. That's just kind of how he is, that he's forced to listen to Connor's orders. He has more of a moral compass than Connor, and especially more than Reed, and you definitely do see that here. So aboard the Abigail, one of the pirates sits with Daniel as a spear protrudes from his gut. Daniel is taking care of the young man's wound as he tells horror stories about cutting his father's Achilles, and he tells Daniel that when he doesn't show up with the boat, Connor will come looking for him. The young man threatens to take Ophelia apart, and Daniel says the young man, he isn't scared of him. And again, I like seeing Daniel not actually fighting, but just through his words, you can tell that he emotionally is fighting him. Even though he's not actually fighting him, he's emotionally doing that. I thought that was really well done. So Daniel and Chris exit. Chris questions Daniel's choices to let the man talk so disrespectfully, and Daniel says that he's just scared and not scary, and that really he's not scared of him. You know, he's just scared. But Ophelia finds them as Chris goes to watch the door, and again, that scene with Chris for me really is hit or miss this season. Like Chris, I don't think still understands a lot of things. You definitely do see that here. So Daniel heads up to Madison and Strand and tells her that Connor is their captive's brother. They find a group of boats and head toward it, and Madison starts the boat in that direction. Louise rushes in demanding that they go to Mexico as to not miss the window. That's where they want to go, obviously, and we know why they want to go to Mexico. Probably, like I said, to check on Thomas, Abigail. And Louise goes to Strand for help, but Strand says that there's no telling her anything. Strand sides with Madison, and we do get this good scene with Louise and Strand, but not nearly as much as I thought we were going to get. We see that Strand is on Madison's side here, that this might not be the best thing to do, and in Spanish, the two discuss how they only have money for two people. Strand says that he'll negotiate and get everyone to Mexico, and it's a very interesting situation, because they only have money, but he wants to actually try to help everyone. You can see that Strand genuinely does want to help them, and now that we know more what Strand's doing, he's no longer as shady as he came across as, which I do like seeing, and Madison reveals that she's going to attack Connor's group. Louise storms out, Madison thanks Strand, and Strand says that they're even, and that now things seem to be okay between Madison and Strand. I mean, before he wasn't giving her any answers, now he's giving her some answers, and something is better than nothing, obviously. So Jack shows Alicia around the boat. As he grabs a clipboard, she takes a knife from his pocket. They talk a bit about Connor and the world and really what's going on and what they've had to deal with. And we do get some good insight here, but just nothing I really care too much to talk about. Why? Because I know we're never going to see these characters again after this episode. It just wasn't as interesting as it could have been. So Travis wakes up. He's locked up below deck, and he finds a pick in a book and starts an attempt to get out. out, but a woman approaches, and it's Alex. Alex is back in this episode. And I knew Alex was going to come back eventually. They've tried to make this big reveal, but one, I don't care about Alex. You guys know, I don't care about Alex. I don't find her interesting. I just don't like what the show really has done with her. I think they just randomly have brought her on because, Flight 462, we gotta connect Flight 462 to Fear the Walking Dead, and to me it just hasn't really worked. She just isn't that interesting of a character. She's not bad, but she's just not that great of a character, and basically, Alex starts telling Travis about Jake's horrible death. She eventually had to choke him out herself and push him out of the raft. I will say, I do understand what Alex is talking about here, that she really didn't want to have to kill Jake, but she had to. And Connor found her and asked what she had to offer, and she offered him the Abigail in exchange for Travis. And she is the whole reason why they're here, actually, is because of Alex. She was the one that basically got them onto Abigail, which does make sense because obviously they arrived shortly after Alex left. So Alex is the main reason why they're there, basically to get revenge for Travis sending her away. And I do understand Alex. It's just, again, her character in general, I just don't find that interesting. I do get what she's saying, though, that no one wants to have to, especially in a world where they're just starting to have this apocalypse, no one wants to have to kill, and Alex clearly didn't want to kill, and Strand and Madison talk at Chip's wheel. She tells him not to send Nick on any more errands. Strand compliments Nick's ability to navigate this world. He claims to have seen Nick's potential, but Madison doesn't want Strand coming between her and her son. He just does, she just doesn't really think that he should be doing that, and you can see that, Strand does really want to help Nick. He really does see that he sees Nick potential, but for whatever reason, Madison does not want Nick involved. I don't know why, but she just doesn't. So Alicia and Jack find boats on the radar. They take notes on them, and Jack notices something on the radar. The Abigail is approaching, and Alicia's furious about her family not being taken ashore, hits Jack with a clipboard when he doesn't tell her that he didn't know, because he didn't know that they were not being taken ashore, and she asks him what happens to their boats. Now, Alicia should have known, I think, that they really were not going to help him. I mean, I think Alicia wanted to think that, but I think she knew that I think she should have really thought that they really weren't going to actually help them. And she asks what happens to the other boats. Jack says it's Reed, not Connor, that they have to worry about, and Alicia insists on finding her family. Now, privy to this, we were led to believe that Reed was dead, but apparently he's not. I don't know why, but he's not. Madison finds Nick, tells him not to do anything like he did when he went to shore again. He puts together a gun. She comments how he's getting comfortable with it, and yeah, he really is. He's getting comfortable with killing. He's starting to understand the idea of killing, and she doesn't really understand it. You can tell that Madison still doesn't exactly want to kill. Like, she knows she might have to, but she doesn't want to kill, while it seems like Nick does want to kill. And it's a very interesting experience what's going on there, and I do like seeing that. So Jack tells Alicia they can take a boat and head to the Abigail, and she's sure it's what she wants to do. He radios for Connor, and Alex explains to Travis that Connor's group is putting Alicia to work. She's specifically mad at Travis for putting her and Jake in the raft, and she says that he knew it was right and he didn't choose it. He knew straight out that it wasn't the best thing to send them on that raft, but he didn't try to stop them by any means. He just let them go on that raft, and honestly, like I said, I can really understand where Alex is coming from here. The fact that he didn't even say anything to them, he just let them on the raft, he didn't let them really have a choice, and that really did upset her, and I can totally understand that. No one should have to, like I said, especially because she probably hasn't had to kill. I mean, I didn't watch Flight 462, but definitely very interesting. Daniel and Strand then talk as Strand finds out where Connor's group is holding up, and Travis tells Alex about his son, who is always watching and trying to see how he'll change, and he thinks he's no better than the man who cut the rope. He tells Alex that he had to do to his son's mother what she had to do to Jake, and I do like the bonding in this scene, because Travis and Alex are in a very similar situation. They both didn't want to have to kill, but they both did, and he tells Alex that basically he questions if they can be more than what they've become, and Alex starts to leave, but Travis asks her what happens to her. And she says straight out, that's when the line comes out, that Connor said he can use me, people don't use me, and basically she says people don't use her, which is very interesting, and you can tell, like I said, Travis is really trying to get through to her, because I think he's starting to understand the world, that, you have to kill, you don't want to kill, you have to kill, and he's trying to move on from it. And Reed then coughs in his cell as Chris looks on, eager to taunt him. He goes against Daniel's orders and his gauges. Reed starts to play mind games with Chris and tells Chris to be prepared for his new group, to put him down like a stray, and Nick closed the door, asks Chris what's wrong. Chris blames himself for the situation because he didn't shoot them, and he froze, and he doesn't want to freeze again, mainly because the fact that, Chris knows how to kill. He really feels like he should have just killed them, and Alicia's then escorted to Travis. She tells him that the Abigail didn't get to land, but Travis assures her that Madison will be fine. Travis tells her that if she has a way out, she needs to take it. Basically, if Jack is letting her leave, just take it. He doesn't care if it doesn't include them. It might be the best thing to do, just to take it. So Madison looks at Connor's spot, can't find anyone. Someone radios for Reed, and Madison tells them that they can have their brother when she gets her family back, and she reveals that she had Rhea as a hostage the entire time, but she dodges the question about the others. She demands a trade in 1 hour, and I do think this was a good way to do it, just to hold Reed against them, and basically try to trade Reed for Alicia, and Connor's brother for her family. I thought that was a good trade, but as we've seen before, Connor really doesn't negotiate. He kind of just does what he wants, and Nick volunteers to escort Reed, but Madison insists on taking him herself. They hear a gunshot, and they run below deck, and Ophelia finds Chris with a gun in his hand. He asks what happened, and Chris says that he was going to turn before walking away. He knew that Reed was going to turn into. He killed him before he turned into a walker, and the group finds Reed with his face blown off, and it's a really good scene, because I like that Chris didn't even think about it, really. He just killed him because he knew he was going to turn, and yeah, he was. So Louise wants to go south. Daniel tells him that they're not done. However, Chris just ruined the entire situation, because obviously Madison wanted to trade Reed for Alicia, and now that's not going to work, because Reed's obviously dead. So, really, Chris should have probably thought about what he did, but, Chris is stupid, honestly. If I had to pick the dumbest character on the show, it'd be Chris. It really would. Chris is not a smart guy. He really isn't. I don't think he thinks things through, really. And Louise wants to go south, and Daniel tells him that they're not done. Madison goes to talk to Chris alone. Chris says that he was dead and he was going to turn. She takes a gun from him, and they hear people arguing upstairs. Chris realizes that they were going to make a trade for Travis and asks Madison that she knows she had to, and he says straight out, I had to, right? You get that. She tells him everything is okay and consoles him, and I do get what he's saying. He really thought it was his duty, and I don't feel like this was just Chris, being like, oh, I wanted to do that. I feel like Chris just genuinely thought this was what he needed to do to basically just prove to them that he's willing to kill, and Jack zip ties Travis's hands. Connor sends him off to get Alicia. Nick and Ophelia clean up Reed's bloody mess. Reed wakes up a zombie, and Daniel uses the spear to pin him to the wall. He's going to use him for the trade. Now, why Reed is a walker, I have no idea. I mean, Chris shot him in the head. How is he back? I just don't get it. Moments later, Daniel has a bag over Reed's head. Someone tells him to take the gun and catches him off guard. He was about to take the bag off of Walker Reed's head, but Ophelia walks in. Jack searches for Alicia. She's hiding in a cabinet and makes a break for it when he passes. Nick asks Madison to let him go, but Madison says he can't because he wants to, and Daniel brings Reed to the boats, and Madison heads off. Nick and Strand then see Travis from their perch. Madison gets closer. Alicia continues her attempted escape and heads to Travis's holding area, and basically, the pregnant girl finds her and tries to make her stay in the cage, and after a scuffle, Alicia locks her inside. Obviously, she's going to make her go through what she went through. Madison and Connor come to a standoff. They make a trade. Reed ends up biting Connor. One of the men tackles Travis just after his hands are cut free. Crazy scene, just seeing Reed biting Connor. I mean, we've already seen that Reed is, in general, more the savage of the two, but even when he's a walker, he's biting him, and when the man tackles Travis, just after his hands are cut free, Alicia runs to just at one end of the boat and sees that she's cornered. Jack finds her, and Madison kicks the man on top of Travis. Travis gets control, punching the man several times. Jack questions Alicia's desire to be with people who abandoned Alex, which, again, I see his point. They really care for Alex, but she slides down the side of the boat and into the water where she's picked up by Travis and Madison. Now, she doesn't really care about Alex. Obviously, she cares about her family more than Alex. Like, it's really a dumb question. Do you really care about your family because they abandoned Alex? Alicia never gave a shit about Alex, if I recall. I mean, I don't really think, that she kind of cared, but not really, and she slides inside the boat into the water where she's picked up by Travis and Madison. Jack watches as she heads back to the Abigail, and that's how the episode ends, and that's it. We're now done with these pirates. We've done what we need to do with them. I'm kind of pissed off, because I thought we were going to have them for a bit more, but we didn't, especially the development we got in this episode. It seemed like we were going to get more with them. This was kind of a sluggish episode, though, mainly because of Alex. The fact that Alex was a big part of this, I just don't care about. Let me explain why. They had every right to get rid of Alex. Why? Because they didn't think Alex was any use to them, which, I don't really think Alex is of use to them. Alex really hasn't contributed much of anything. She hasn't shown anything. She's talked to them, and she hasn't really done much of anything, so I don't really know why they need her. So that frustrated me. The fact that Chris killed, Reed, I understand he thought that that was the thing to do, but the fact that he basically ruined their entire thing and it could have gone a lot more smoother. I mean, obviously that kind of pissed me off as well. Yes, we got some cool Walker killing, but I just wasn't a fan of that. Why does Madison not want Nick with Strand? I don't understand it. Like, Strand clearly is someone that they can trust, and I don't know why Madison doesn't see that. Is she not getting something? Is she not seeing Strand as a trustworthy ally? I mean, I don't really understand this at all. What is Strand not showing her? Clearly, Strand is opening himself up, saying, look, you can trust me, but for whatever reason, Madison doesn't see it that way. I don't know why she doesn't, but she just doesn't. It's kind of annoying that she doesn't. We'll have to see what happens with that, because that's kind of annoying me. It looks like they're headed for Mexico, but it's going to be interesting to see if Strand can actually make this work, because like we know, he said there's only room for 2 people, there's only money for 2 people, but he's going to try to make it work. Is it actually going to work? We'll have to see what happens with that. Is Thomas still alive? Obviously, I think he wants to see Tom and make sure that he's still alive as well, so that's going to be very interesting. My main issue with this episode is that these pirates really end up amounting to nothing, really. I mean, yes, they were on the show, we got some really good consequences, but we were meant to believe that this was all because of Alicia, and that they were there because of Alicia, and that Alicia was the reason for this, and then it turns out it wasn't that, and that kind of lessened the impact, because the fact that it wasn't really a character that we care about, and someone who we've seen for 1 episode, I mean, I just haven't had the desire to care about Alex yet. Maybe they can make her more interesting in coming episodes, but right now, she's just not that interesting to me, and I'm hoping that they do more with her, because I know she's a main character. They already... You go with the cast list for this season. She's one of the main characters, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because, like I said, she's just not that interesting right now. But maybe they will make her interesting. We'll have to see what happens with that. But overall, guys, I'm glad you guys saw this episode. Like I said, definitely more of a low-key episode than it should have been. I would have liked a lot more higher stakes here. There was a lot more meandering conversations and a lot more sluggish pace than it should have been. I was honestly kind of bored at points. But let me know what you guys saw this episode, your thoughts on it. Is Alex working for you? Because she's really not for me. I will see you guys next year for Penny Dreadful, which of course I have a lot to say about, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.